Hello, everybody. So we're getting into chapter 13. Good morning if you are watching this video in the morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. So let's get into supply chain logistics. That chapter 13. Okay. This slide, first one, showing here. I got from internet the Toyota's inbound network. So tells us about what plants Toyota has in the United States. So let's pay attention to the vehicle plants. So the yellow ones here, we have 9 different plants, right? And as we can see here, we have plants here. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. So Kentucky here, Illinois, Indiana, a couple ones in Canada here, one in Texas, right? Baja, and 2 in Mexico. So you can see that a lot of them are here, right? And even their engine plants are around here, components plants are all around here, right? You don't have anything here, you don't have anything here. The reds are the ports, so you don't have anything on this side, right? Or in the east side or west side. So the question is, why, right? Why do they decided to put their plants here in the Midwest? And that's that moment that you need to answer. Okay? You need to answer. So, so think about if we think about demand, right? The population of the United States, right? So we have a lot of people in California, right, on the West Coast. We have a lot of people in Texas, Florida, and we have a bunch of people here as well, right, on the East Coast. But you can see that that's not what's driving the location in their case. So what is driving the location? They don't want to be around the consumer, right? They want to be close to something else. So next slide. Oops. Next slide is the location of their suppliers, right? And then we start to understanding, why are they having it? Why do they have their plants in that location, right? So you can see all the green, sorry, are suppliers, and they are kind of concentrated in this region here, right? Why is that? Well, that's because Detroit is here, and you have Chicago also here. So you have this big cities, major cities, especially if you think about Detroit. That is the birth of the automotive industry, right? The American automotive industry. That in Detroit, where we have GM, we have Ford and Chrysler headquarters, and how they expand Ford and they expand their supply chain. So a lot of suppliers in that region cause other automotive companies to go to the same region, which cause more suppliers to go to the region. So you start kind of in a snowball effect where what happened over the years is that some of them go kind of a little bit far away, but they stay concentrated here because distance from the supplier is a very critical point for automotive industries. Why is that? Well, if you remember chapter 9, not too long ago, not a month ago, a few weeks ago, we talked about inventory, right? And we talked about lead time. So if you increase the lead time, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to need to have more inventory because your reorder points are going to be higher. And also, your safety stock is going to be higher. So reorder point higher, safety stock higher if the lead time is big. If you're close to your suppliers, your lead time could be very small. Your standard deviation during that time will be also very small, so you can have less inventory. And inventory is a very, very important thing for automotive industries because a lot of the cost of a car is parts, right? So that's why these companies want to be close to their suppliers. And then gets to my next question will be, okay, but then BMW came and put a plant here in Greer, South Carolina. And more recently, Volvo came and started operation last year, a year and a half now from today, in Charleston here. So why would Volvo put a plant here? Why did BMW 15 years ago, a little more, put a plant here and not in the middle of this thing? Why does South Carolina have that attracts companies? So if you know a little bit about South Carolina, we have one big important thing called the Port of Charleston. So Port of Charleston is very, very important because it allows BMW here to actually, from their plant, fill up the rail cars with cars. So if you go and visit BMW, have a chance to do that, they have rails goes into their plant and they're filling the cars and they're putting the cars into the rail cars and they can ship from there directly to the port in those rail cars and then put them into the boats and export to the whole world. And that plant, for example, 70% of what they produce is going to be overseas. So only 30% is going to be to United States. So that's for that reason it makes sense to do a plant there because you're having that kind of port really near. And of course, Volvo kind of trying to use kind of same strategy, but being even closer. They are 30 minutes from Port of Charleston. Another very important good thing that we have here in the southeast is the labor, right? So labor is a lot more expensive here in the Midwest, and you have to fight with all these other companies to get the employees that you want. Here in the southeast is a region that's growing a lot because we have labor, still have some labor available, at least more than Midwest, and with a reasonable price. Well, also the cost is not as expensive as in the Midwest or in the North, and so we can actually have attract people because of the cost of living and all that. Okay.